My name is Dr. Dan Richardson. I'm Program Advisor for the Phantom Regiment. I've been with the Corps for 46 years as a member, instructor, and now on the Board of Directors. This year's show is titled Heroic Sketches, The Passion of Shostakovich. Shostakovich wrote his music during the Second World War. He lived in Leningrad during the time of intense battle, so his music reflected not only his feelings and emotion, but also those of the people of Russia. Our show is designed to demonstrate these emotions using 4 different movements, which we call sketches. The first sketch, Symphony number 10, called Oppression, is characterized by aggressive music and drill, sharp movements. The music is heavy and it's fast. And we start the show with an eye-opening visual and musical moment. You'll see angular movements and angular motion throughout. The opening pose of the color guard is an aggressive one which signifies what's going to happen. The first guard costume is meant to simulate a heavy Russian winter coat. And the rifles in this case, we left natural wood to look like real rifles. So we come immediately into a very aggressive, very angular pose with the rifles actually trying to simulate a battle beginning. We hear staccato, sharp, percussive moments in the sections to come, which also signifies battle. Integrating the guard throughout the Corps members proper is also meant to indicate an aggressive battle-type pose. In the next section, we continue to hear the percussive moments sounding like gunfire, confusion, and in this section here we have the percussion coming through the brass, the Corps proper, also to simulate battle. Angular movements are coming up. In the next section we call the juggernaut, which is the entire Corps moving backwards. The flags we've just picked up were meant also in this section to indicate confusion, cacophony, battle, fire with the red flags. And in this section, bombs falling, if you will, and various groups of people moving through each other also to indicate confusion, battle, and destruction. Very heavy with the brass, very heavy with the percussion. Toward the end of this piece, with the color of the flag, the red color of the flag, we meant to, again to indicate a battle scene with aggressive, heavy, big baritone, big brass sound. At the end of this piece, you will see the color guard and the brass getting into the same kind of pose that we had at the beginning of this piece, signifying things yet to come. The second piece is called Introspection. It's a Shostakovich piano concerto. In this piece, Shostakovich described his feelings of loss of life, loss of love, and pleasant feelings that he had and the Russian people had in the past. So we're trying to get a sense of a lofty feeling. It's not a love song, it's not a tragic piece, but it had to be beautiful, slow, almost a bittersweet type of feeling. The flags in this section are going to be transparent and white. You can almost see right through them. The lack of color is what we were looking for in this piece. the banners in the back there are meant to sort of signify clouds, as though you're almost in a feeling of being in the clouds and thinking about pleasant times in the past. A beautiful soloist in the front, playing, again, a bittersweet feeling with dancers in the back. We try to get the feeling almost of parting ways, so that the girls in the guard are leaving, and that people are leaving one another during a period of wartime. And they don't know really if they're coming back. That's the feeling we wanted to give. Soon we will come in with the entire color guard, and you can see the beautiful transparent white flags. I thought this worked very well in the show to portray that cloudy, ethereal, aesthetic feeling. I think the poses also helped to lift this whole feeling to an emotional high point. And then we slowly come down with both the color guard disappearing and the horn line ending on a very quiet note with, you'll see one color guard girl left out on the field. Again, signifying not being really too sure of what's going to happen in the future for the people of Russia, and indeed for Shostakovich himself. Sketch 3, our next piece, is also from the piano concerto. It's called False Hope. The corps proper and the guard exude a feeling of lighthearted, almost playful feeling of happiness as the baritones come in. We have a completely new, different style of marching. It's not as heavy. It's very light on our feet. The guard, of course, is in a different costume. Again, these costumes were meant to simulate the Russian kind of a Cossack feeling with the pants and the boots. We use a different piece of equipment. We're using now a sickle type of prop. And in this piece, we're not using it as an aggressive piece, but almost a playful dancing type of feeling. The people in Russia during this time Shostakovich wrote this piece were somewhat hopeful about ending the war. We break up into small groups of people dancing throughout this piece and tried through our motion and color guard work to give a feeling of playfulness. Now watch this next color guard work. It's not meant to be aggressive as the first piece, but playful. Horns in the back are also circular, again signifying kind of a dance-like feeling. And then we go into more dance feeling here coming up in the next piece, which is really kind of a high point of this particular song. It's a very difficult moment, by the way, passed through with 4 different things going on at the same time, everybody having to keep their positions straight. And it was a very difficult piece, but an awful lot of fun to do. Toward the end of this sketch now, we see things starting to happen more angular. Again, here's the false hope coming up, is that the people really were not at the end of their problems. We see people gathering in their homes, and then a destructive ending to that piece. Notice the color guard girls again in that sort of aggressive pose. The 4th sketch is Symphony number 7, the Leningrad Symphony. This sketch begins with the people coming out of their homes, looking around very tentatively to see if it was okay if they could come out of their homes. In fact, Shostakovich was writing this piece in his basement while bombs were falling in Leningrad. He describes his feelings of hope that the conflict is over, but still somewhat tentative. So we are still gathering together the groups in Russia to begin, hopefully, a celebration. This was a very difficult piece to put together because of the slow development of a slow piece of music. But we tried to indicate that the various forces were gathering and becoming more and more excited about the show. This is one of the most emotional moments of our show, and in fact, Shostakovich music. From here on out, at this point, we use both the corps and the color guard to give the feeling of building of confidence, that things are going to be all right. In fact, things are okay. And you see people coming together, various different points throughout. And now we begin our celebration and our excitement. And this really is exciting. The kids got into this so much, as did I, as you can probably hear. There's a prancing movement of the corps. You can see by a different style of marching that we are celebrating at this point. And the color guard basically dancing and waving their flags in celebration. At the end of the show, all the elements will come together, and finally the color guard moving into the corps proper, which is about to come. You will see everybody gathering together. We use a little bit of a different feeling here to indicate, or to simulate rather, that there are various groups of people coming from different ways, different directions, everybody coming together in one big massive celebration finally at the end. We pick up the tempo, we pick up the sound, we pick up the volume, and we pick up the color guard work, all to signify celebration at the end with a very typical Phantom Regiment move, and a very exciting moment for all of us. We've really enjoyed doing this. Well, it was a very challenging, yet a very rewarding year. The members enjoyed performing the show. The staff really enjoyed putting it together because there are so many emotions that we had to get into a 10-minute show. So it was a really great year for Phantom Regiment.